I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this. Suppose you could draw some conclusions for like that. Like, oh, they should have a 489 WOBA in this game. On the season, they have a 380, like something like that. But that's what it's designed to do. Is it takes the player's X WOBA, and based on the starter, how far the starter's going to go into the game, and the available bullpen arms, gives you an expected WOBA for this game. So I guess you could use it to, I don't know about home runs specifically,
like bases or something like that, but
yeah, I definitely, it has that built in. I just needed to like display it. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a nice day. We got to give a shout out to Toast. Marlins money line plus 192. He just hit. That's a nice one. And the craziness of baseball continues from last night. At least this time, I wasn't on the losing end of all of it. These games are flipping going into the last inning, going into the fifth. My Texas first 5 team total under looked good. They scored 4 runs in the fifth, so I lost that one. But my bigger bet was Yankees team total over 3.5. They had 0 runs in the 7th, and they ended up going over 3.5. So I ended up winning my bigger bet that looked dead, and the bet that looked pretty good ended up losing. So these baseball bets, the last 48 hours, flipping in the final innings. At least this time, I was on the winning end of one of those. Got a lot of baseball action left today. As far as basketball, I don't have anything. I'm all ears. I'm just listening, see if I can hear something. Like I was just telling these guys, my MLB model is pretty much complete. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be displayed for everybody. So that I've been nuts deep in that. Haven't been looking at the NBA, even though I did have a winning NBA night last night. Went 2-1. So I'm all ears. See if Chris has anything for us, or Modi, I guess. Yo, I make Modi into a sympathetic character because people are like, stop bullying him. His bet's hit.
He probably more profitable than both of us. He probably more profitable than both of us, Kyle. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, dude, his first quarter bets on this show, definitely the most profitable. I don't think it's close. On his first quarter bets specifically on this show, like 80%.
4-1 yesterday.
Yeah, and that you've had several days like that. Like I think you went 5-0 the one day, or 4-0. So, yeah, your first quarter hit rates on this show specifically are insane. And it's even what makes it hilarious is I rip every single one to shreds. Chris, Sixers, Wizards. I'll pull up an injury. Okay. Modi, Sixers, Wizards.
Justin Champagny, 5+ first quarter points. I lowered my unit size on a lot of these because I'm not exposing myself to the weirdness of these games. So it's plus 145 at Bet365. This one's a little bit like I normally try and do the opposite. Bet guys that haven't been shooting well. He has shot well the past 2 games. So there's a little bit of risk there, which is natural regression. But the Wizards rotation's wonky. Guys are in and out. All I know is that 2 of the last 4 games, he's played all 12 minutes in the first quarter. The other 2, he played 10 minutes. So his minutes are up. The Wizards don't have anybody playing tonight. So he should at least get like 8 minutes in the first quarter. The matchup is as good as it gets against the Sixers. One of the worst teams guarding spot-up shooters. One of the worst teams guarding catch-and-shoot three-pointers above the break three-pointers. They've just given up incredibly aggressive ball pressure, and they leave shooters wide open. And Champagny scores a majority of his points via spot-up, scores a majority of his points in terms of area on the floor in the restricted area, which the Sixers have the second worst defense guarding that, and the 4th worst defense guarding above the break three-pointers. So Champagny, it's 5+ first quarter points, by the way, not over 5.5. And I put 3/4 of a unit on that.
5+, and Saturated is in the comments. He says, it doesn't work unless Kyle trolls Modi's first quarter picks. That's a key component.
I mean, it's unfortunately true.
So to try to stay in line with the narrative, that pick sucks. That's stupid. Chris, you said you passed, so let's go ahead and poll split down. 72 people voted. Wow, people People are really. I didn't think
what they vote on.
it's split. Sixers and
Split.
Wizards.
Ugh.
I don't expect
Over,
this
yeah.
to be. It's only NBA and there's baseball on right now, so I don't expect this to be like the most loaded show in terms of viewers. I almost had Jeff Feinberg on to do Masters, but I messed the time up, so gonna get him on next week.
And it's one of the worst slates in NBA history.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but they've all been. I mean, it's a combination of the season that the NBA's had this year. It's PR-wise hasn't been the best. Now, I'm usually an NBA apologist. I'm a big fan of the NBA, have been for forever. So I'm usually defending the NBA, but you combine the season the NBA's had in terms of the public perception of it, and we're at that point of the season where every sport sucks. NFL Week 18 sucks. MLB the last 2 weeks when we're in September and football's on. Who the hell, besides Toast, is watching MLB at that point? Nobody. So we're at that point of the season, plus a rough year for the NBA in terms of the public perception.
I'm the Toast of the NBA gal as far as watching it. I just can't always bet it. Like, I'll watch the Wizards and the Raptors. I'm not gonna bet it though. Like, if it's on, yeah. I was always that kid that watched SportsCenter like right after it went off, like it was gonna change and it was the same episode again. Like
I'm telling
hours in a row.
Yeah, but once actually, if you're not the hugest baseball fan, I could see it. But the baseball is very unique because at the very end of baseball, when it sucks, football's on. And nobody cares about Toast will be in the Discord like, hey, you guys see Fraley's hit run at RBI props at plus 150? I was like, shut the fuck up, bro. No one cares. All right, Boston's on the road at Orlando. Orlando laying 7.5. I'm assuming I'm about to see a bunch of injuries when I open this page up, Chris.
Everybody's out for the Celtics.
Except Jaylen Brown, who is listed as questionable. I think they probably going to still try to play him. It won't be 4 minutes, though, because they just want to get him to the 65 mark so he can be eligible for, like, the awards and stuff. But, yeah, this is actually the only one that I did play, Kyle. And I got 10 points of value here.
What?
I hopped on Orlando last night at plus 3.5 as soon as that game went to overtime. I mean, you could kind of see the writing on the wall because Cleveland won yesterday. So what that means is that they clinched the number 1 seed. Boston has absolutely nothing to play for, and they won yesterday. And Orlando has everything to play for. So it makes sense. This line went from 3.5 to 3 to 2 to all the way up to 7.5 when I woke up this morning, there was 4.5 in favor of Orlando. But I think people already knew that everybody wasn't going to play. So, yeah, Orlando should win this one relatively easy. Boston will have Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard out there. Those guys will want to play hard. I just think Orlando is really locked in. I lost some money because I played Atlanta last night. Orlando looked really, really good last night.
Yeah, they did. I also
and they
lost.
didn't have to travel, Cal.
Yeah, that was my NBA loss. I went 2-1. The Hawks plus 4 is my loss. Modi?
You know what my other one was, Cal? It was the Knicks, who Jalen Brunson hit a meaningless 3-pointer up by down by 5 with no time left. Jalen Brunson hits a walk-up 3-pointer that the Celtics don't even guard. They lose the game by 2 instead of losing it by 5. And yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's right. You had early Celtics minus 3. Modi, anything for this one?
I don't have an official play. It would just be Jaylen Brown. And this is I'm not even the bit of me being a first quarter guy. It would be Jaylen Brown in the first quarter solely because he's not going to play his normal minutes. He's going to play 20 minutes in this game. And he'll play 8 of them in the first quarter. Because like Chris said, they want him to get to 65 games played so he could be eligible for All-NBA. But he's battling like a bone bruise, so he's not actually healthy. So he's not going to play. Like that is actually a thing. So if you're betting Jaylen Brown, his full game prop is PRA, not even his points. PRA set at 19.5. Like everybody knows that he's not playing. That's why it's set so low. So if you're going to bet Jaylen Brown, it would absolutely be in the first quarter. He's already a fast starting kind of guy. You run some risk here. Is he just going to play 5 minutes and then not look the rest of the game, like not play the rest of the game? It's hard to say. So I didn't actually bet it, especially because the odds, it's minus 125. Like I wasn't going to get play something minus 1.25 units and then get screwed if he barely plays in the first quarter. So be careful with Jaylen Brown because he's barely going to play. And if you actually are going to play him, it would be in the first quarter. Not even using the first quarter bit as a thing that I'm doing. That's like actually how I feel about this.
That one actually made logical sense.
Yeah.
So if he's a one hit.
Rather than you just take a random guy, slap a first quarter king title on him. And
Hey, Mona, don't play that one. Just take it back because Cal actually likes it.
Yeah.
I I didn't play. Don't worry.
No
It's too
chance.
risky.
No chance that hits. That I co-signed his first quarter bet. No chance. Now we got a cool game. As far as playoff implications, what's going on here, Chris, in LA, Dallas?
So Dallas is going to make the playoffs because the Suns self-sabotaged themselves. They haven't won a game in the last 9.
Suns?
So,
Never.
yeah, the Suns
they wouldn't do
self-sabotaged.
that. They would not do that.
They absolutely did. Then Kevin Durant got hurt, and now it's really over. But there is like maybe a 0.009% chance that they could win. I think Dallas will have to lose out, and Phoenix will have to win out, and
Wait,
then
hold on. Dallas
Phoenix owns the tiebreaker.
See, you're looking at Phoenix. I'm thinking Dallas is going to want to take that 9 spot to play that home game in the play-in.
Dallas keep losing by 32, but that's what I'm saying. Like they coming off a couple losses in a row. They just lost to the Brooklyn Nets not too long ago. Like I know they want to win this game. I know Anthony Davis will want to get up versus his old team, but so will Luka. And Luka got an early ejection last night. The Lakers absolutely need games. Currently, they could finish as high as 3 or as low as 8. So, I mean, I know that they're on the second leg of a back-to-back. The situational spot sets up well for the Mavs here. 3 days of rest compared to a team playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. You come out of a very hostile environment, playing back-to-back games against OKC. And then the line is coming down from 5 to, what is it now, 2 or 3.5?
Is it down? My graphic says 4.5.
It says 4.5. I think it's down to, maybe it went back up. But I'm expecting everybody to play for the Lakers because they still need games. And I think that they are head and shoulders better than the Dallas Mavericks. I haven't bet it yet because it doesn't make sense situationally, but I do think the Lakers could win this game. Maybe I'll end up playing it live. I don't want Dallas right now. The defense looks really, really bad. I know the Lakers are in a pretty bad spot situationally, but it still just be Lakers for me just because I know that they need to win still too. And Luka is going to be doing whatever he wants to do. So I know Moda probably got a first quarter Luka look, so I'll be quiet and let him talk.
No, Moda's got first quarter Luka.
I mean, it's incredibly square, but you have to go to it. Like the books aren't taking the squareness into account with the price. You can get 10 plus for plus 110 at Bet365. That's what it normally is for Luka. He hit this in 2 games in a row against the Thunder, which would be like the worst matchup for a perimeter scorer like him. They're the best defense guarding guys like Luka. Still hit it in both games against them. He had been on a little bit of a rough stretch in the first quarter. Prior to that, he had missed it in 6 straight games. Now he cashed it in 2 straight. It's Luka 10 plus points in the first quarter, plus 110 odds. Chris mentioned he got ejected early last night. The Lakers need to win. It's in Dallas. It's just as square as it possibly gets, but you're not paying any extra juice, which is normally what you have to do for the square plays. So I'm sticking with it.
I gotta say, why is this line only 4.5? I know.
So it moved, Kyle. It did move, just so you know. So yesterday, this was the only line that was available before the Lakers even played against OKC yesterday. It was at 5, and it moved down to 4, then 4.5 to 4, and then when I woke up this morning, it was 3.5. So that's why I was telling you 3.5. But you're right, it's back up to 4.5 now. So money has come back in on the Lakers to win this game by 2 possessions.
I don't understand why I'm able to get a 4.5. I mean, Lakers are the better team, and let's be honest, the crowd might be rooting for Luka.
They will be.
The crowd is not pro Mavericks right now. They're pro Luka. I mean, there's people in Dallas that have bought Lakers jersey. Like, they are not going to be rooting for the Mavs here. They're not. I'm putting Lakers up. I just don't see. I don't get what I'm missing. Why am I getting that? Feels like such an easy one. The Lakers are the significantly better team. They're playing excellent. Now, I know when Anthony Davis plays, Dallas is not a terrible team by any means. So I'm not saying Dallas sucks or anything like that. But still, the Lakers are one of the strongest teams in the Western Conference. And 4.5. When Luka's going to be motivated, there's not going to. I really don't know how much of a home court advantage they're going to have. I don't really understand what I'm missing here.
It's the rest, guys. It's just the rest.
What'd you say?
It's the rest.
Yeah, Lakers played last night.
It's 3 days of rest to 0.
That should be a factor. I don't know. I'm not doing it. Lakers are pass.
Same. Those situations, Kyle, while you're moving on, those situations are really, really rare. I didn't look into this earlier, but we haven't had this happen this season at all, where a team has 3 days of rest and another team is on the second leg of a back-to-back. That's how rare they can be. We only had it happen one time last year and two times the year before that. So those teams are not great. They're 52% ATS, just FYI.
Someone says rest barely matters in all caps. Yeah, we got an idiot on our hands.
that guy's on one in the comments. Just go through him.
He dropped 2 like weird ass hateful. Then rest barely matters. Like, oh, okay, he's a moron. Hornets on the road in Toronto. Raps laying a full 10 here. Jesus. Modai, anything for this one?
Yeah, I think I've got the greatest bet of all time in this one. This one is as nasty as it gets in the first quarter, but it's Nurkic over 2.5 first quarter rebounds, plus 145 at Bet365. So this is the first game he's played as a member of the Hornets without both Mark Williams and Miles Bridges. We don't have any data. What we do know is that the last 2 games that Williams specifically has missed, Nurkic has 3 rebounds, 4 rebounds in the first quarter of both of those games. He just comes in and he vacuums boards. That's all he does. He doesn't do anything else. Just vacuums them up. Going up against the Raptors, who are one of the best matchups you can think of for center rebound props. 12 of 15 guys with Nurk's rebounding profile have hit the rebound prop over. The Raptors in general have allowed the 4th most rebounds to centers in the entire NBA. You could ladder this up to 5, and I think it could cash, which is like plus 400 odds, something like that. Like I said, I think this might be the greatest bet of all time.
Saturated wants to know when the first quarter community parlay is going to start on this show. Just know if you ever see me busting out a first quarter community parlay that I've hit rock bottom as a person and as a content creator. Just know that like I'm not doing well. If you ever see that, things aren't going well in my life.
Plus 650 odds for him to get 5 rebounds in the first quarter. Throw 0.1 units on it. You've spent $10 worse.
Yeah. I'll see you at the window. Chris, what are your
My thoughts here, Cal, is it's a Toronto spot. I didn't lay the number. I probably should have. Last night, I think this was 5. No. Open 7, 7.5. And Charlotte is hit rock bottom. Speaking of rock bottom, Cal,
you're saying has hit rock bottom as if they haven't been there for several years. I mean, they're
No, you're right. You're right, Cal. I think about Charlotte as a team that, at least in the beginning of the season, they were playing a little bit of defense. They were, trying. Now they're just undercutting guys and sending them to the hospital with broken arms. So, and now you take away Bridges, you take away Mark Williams. There's already no LaMelo. They probably lose the game by 15, 20 points. I just don't want the worst of the line. They've only covered 2 of their last, 11 games, and it's the second leg of a back-to-back, having to fly through customs to get to Toronto. It's Toronto or nothing. I don't want to lay this big of a number because Toronto's still resting players, but they have been winning. Charlotte team total under 104.5. They only scored 100 last night. Toronto's been very solid defensively. I think it's a pretty slow-paced game. Those are the 2 ways that I would lean.
I don't know. If Pirtle's not going to play, though, Scotty Barnes questionable. The guys that have been doing it for Toronto, I need the shed open.
I agree. That was one of the reasons. Him, Obaji's not there. They could rule somebody else out late. I'm not laying this big of a number. But Toronto, we talked about this the other day, Cal. Toronto has been winning the games when all these other tanking teams, I know they're one of the tanking teams, but they've been actually not afraid to win games against these other subpar teams. You always say Toronto plays good against teams that suck as well, and they have been.
How about Heat Bulls, Matt?
I don't have a first quarter king in this one. I like the either Giddey assists specifically or rebounds plus assists. His playmaking's gone up a ton recently with all the guys out for the Bulls. It's a decent matchup against the Heat. He's gone over his RA, which is 17.5 in 13 of his last 18 games. He just had combined 22 against the Heat last time he played. He had a triple-double. So you want to sprinkle double-double, triple-double. I don't have an official play on this one, but the look would be Giddey. And the best bet's probably the rebounds plus assists, just to give a specific one out there. But
what's the
like
number?
I said, I like 17.5 minus 108 at minus 106 at FanDuel.
Giddey over rebounds and assists. Full game, guys. All 4 quarters here. Modai must really like it. What are your thoughts, Chris?
This is actually probably the most interesting game on the board, besides Luka and going back to Dallas, because this game determines a lot as far as playoff seeding. Well, play-in seeding. These teams are pretty much deadlocked. I think Chicago may have like a half game advantage, but Miami will take that advantage and pretty much put themselves in a position to host the play-in game between these two teams come this weekend or whenever they play I think next week, Monday or Tuesday.
No, there's still another week and a half, right?
No. Sunday's the last day, and then the play-in starts on Monday, I think, or Tuesday or something like that. So yeah, Miami has the rest advantage here, even though Chicago rested all their players yesterday because I think they were, looking ahead to this game. And I'm just looking at, I think, as sad as it makes me to say this, Kyle, I think Miami is the right side. I think they're the better team. I think they're better than Chicago. I really, really do. Now you get Wiggins back. You got Tyler Hero. Bam didn't play in the last game, so he's extra rested and motivated. I think I didn't bet it, but I like the way the line's moving. I would probably play money line because that's all that really matters, and I don't want to get smoked like I did last night with Jalen Brunson. But yeah, I'd be playing Miami or a Miami team total up and over. Chicago wants to play fast. They're still not guarding anybody, and the defensive rating still sucks. So I would be looking, and Miami is actually a top 10 rated offense in their last 5 games, weirdly. So yeah, I'll be looking at Miami to be able to score the basketball and to be able to win the game here, Kyle. If I'm betting.
I don't know.
You like Chicago? You're not on the Bulls free diet anymore?
I don't know. Plus 2.5 at home. Nah, I mean I'm not. This is a cool game, and it definitely is meaningful, but I would have to really look at it, and I'm just not going to. So,
that's fair.
And also there's something about if I was to look at it now, I feel like if there was value to be had in the market,
gone.
I should have taken it last night.
Yep.
So it's like, what's the point even looking now?
I feel
the
that way
number's
all the
been
time.
nuked. Whatever way it was supposed to go, it's already been nuked there.
Well, actually, not so much though, Kyle. It's moved 1.5 points. I think
No.
opened
I'm
Miami.
not saying that it necessarily has moved. I'm just saying if it has moved, the value's gone. If it hasn't moved, it's because there is no value.
Oh, because there is no value. Yeah. You don't want the leftovers. That's what it is.
Right.
I say that all the time, Kyle. Betting sports is like when you get to the line early. It's like getting to the grocery store and like being able to get the fresh produce as soon as they pick it out, as soon as they put it out. You don't want like the lettuce and stuff and the cabbage that's just been sitting there and like played all over
like
and people moving it with their hands and
the green ass bananas that are like 6 months away from edible. Bro, DoorDash will bring you Instacart will bring you a banana that isn't good till 2026. Who would ever buy that banana?
That's why it's on DoorDash.
Yeah.
They just choose the leftovers.
Yeah, they don't give a shit, those Instacart people. Like, yeah, bananas he wanted. I'm sure he'll be ready to eat those in a couple of years. Jazz at home, Chris.
Only Portland, but I would want Denny Avdia in, and it's the only reason I actually didn't take it. I think Utah is just done. They're cooked. They don't want to win. They don't want to play. They're resting players. Isaiah Collier is now on the injury report. There's none of the big three. I mean, you just got Colin Sexton and your boy Sensabaugh out there. And Utah's been good. As a favorite, they've been good. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the number. I mean, whenever you're laying multiple possessions with Portland, and it's open 5, and whenever you're laying multiple possessions with Portland, and that's where the line opens, you know that that's the right side. Meanwhile, Utah's covered 3 of their last 10 spreads. Most of their losses have been by double digits. And even though they typically cover against Portland, I think they have covered something like 4 or 5 in a row. Portland has their number. So if you told me last night that Anthony Simons was going to be in, I don't even care about Anthony Simons, honestly. He's like Bradley Beal, in my opinion. If you told me that Denny Avdia was going to be in, I would have laid the number last night. But with him being listed as questionable, it's enough to keep me off.
If you don't think Anthony Simons matters, who in the backcourt matters to you? Because I don't think Scoot Henderson matters.
Scoot Henderson is out.
No, I know. That was my member of the Portland backcourt that didn't move the needle for me. Simons definitely matters, dude.
Shaden Sharp.
Okay, maybe Shaden Sharp a little bit more so than Simons, but Simons matters.
He matters more when you don't have Scoot. That's one of the reasons I didn't play the game.
Dude, I think the Jazz are going to win this game.
Why?
Dude,
They're actively not trying to win.
They're not even trying to be competitive. They're like the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
I'm putting Jazz up, not betting it. Modai, anything?
No, nothing.
All right. Next game is Denver, Sacramento. Nuggets -4. Kings are catching 4. Moda, anything for this one?
Sabonis, over 3.5 first quarter rebounds. He's hit it both games against the Nuggets this year, 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds in both those games. He did miss this last game against the Pistons, but he had cashed it in 6 straight prior to that. His minutes in the first quarter are a little spotty. Like twice in the last week, he's played all 12 minutes, but then last game he only played 8. So we don't really know exactly what to expect. But if you take out the 2 games in which he got hurt in the first quarter, games he's played with Levine since he joined the team, he's gone over in 12 of 19 games. And it's a really good matchup against the Nuggets, who allow a ton of rebounds, specifically to centers. And Sabonis has done this all the time in those matchups. It's +100 at Bet365.
+100 at Bet365. Sabonis over 3.5 first quarter rebounds. I know 3.5, 4 rebounds seems like a lot in a quarter, but you got to keep in mind the rotations. I mean, some of these guys run 12 minutes in the first quarter, in which case 4 rebounds is actually not a crazy amount in 12 minutes. Chris?
This is one where I'd actually be playing the first quarter too, and it'd be not a prop though, just Denver in the first quarter. Fresh off the Mike Malone firing, they did that only because the team wasn't responding to him. So I'm guessing they do a little bit better without him being there. But more so than that, right? Because you just lost I think Denver is 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've lost 4 straight, only 3 wins in their last 10 games, I think, as well. But more so than that, I think it's just a terrible spot for Sacramento. They just won 3 games in a row after losing 3 games in a row. And all 6 of the games, 3 wins, 3 losses, have all been on the road. So now it's first game back home off an Eastern Conference road trip, which you said the other day, Kyle, when we did the show, you was like, I don't think I really want to lay points with Detroit. Detroit had a humongous lead, lost the game outright. So Sacramento probably a little fat and happy, feeling good about themselves. They beat the Cavs the night before that. I think Denver comes out really, really well early in this game. So first quarter, money line, first quarter -1, I think is the right side, because I think if we see anything from Denver here, it's going to be early. And I don't full game. I think this one has moved a little bit too much for me. I kind of felt like I wanted to play Denver. I kind of still I don't trust Denver because they don't have Jamal Murray, which means you're relying on Westbrook, and they also haven't been playing any defense, which is why they've been losing. So I kind of think Sacramento can keep this one within the number 2, but I just don't like the spot enough for them to bet it. So if I had to bet it, it'd be Denver first quarter or nothing at all in this game.
I'll put the Kings up, but I mean, let's
well said.
I mean, like, I'm ready for the playoffs is where I'm at with
we can tell, Kyle.
Yeah. Spurs, Warriors. 17 is the number.
That's crazy.
I didn't spend 17 seconds on it.
Yeah. Moda, do you have anything on this one, or are we skipping?
Skip.
All right. 2 games left. First is your Phoenix Suns. Thunder Lane 10 to Phoenix here. Oklahoma City, I feel like, was the last time we saw them play like 3 good basketball games in a row?
It's been a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they packed it in a month ago. Like, we got the 1 seed. We're 27 games up. I obviously understand the reasoning for taking your foot off the gas. That being said, I don't love the idea of going into the playoffs with no momentum. I mean, I understand maybe resting your guys here and there, but I mean, they're just like, what is Oklahoma City's record recently?
Really good. They've only lost. They lost to the Rockets and they lost to the Lakers. Before that, they had won like 12 in a row.
Okay, so maybe it seems like more so than it actually is. Because I'm looking, they're winning this shitload of games. They're 1-2 in their last 3. And honestly, and then last night they were losing for most of it, and they went on like an 18-0 run at the end so it looked they won by 16, but that was a wire-to-wire game.
Right when Luka went out. That's when their run started, was when Luka went out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Suns money line?
Hell no. There's no Luka on there's no Luka on the Suns. It's no Luka on the Suns. They don't got an Austin Reeves. They got a Devin Booker, but at this point he's checked out too, man. Honestly, Kyle, I think the Suns they've rolled over. Like you can stick a fork in them. I know it's not Thanksgiving, but you can stick a fork in them, man. It's done. They're done. Even if OKC rules guys out, I think they could still win this game by double digits.
Okay, or SGA just listed out.
Okay, that's what I figured too. That's why I didn't play it. Like this number was 12, and it came down to 10. Then I saw 9.5. Regardless, I think Phoenix struggles to score the basketball. What I wrote in my notes
Durant might play.
Says who?
He's listed as questionable.
Really?
Yeah, because he needs to play 3 more games to hit 65.
Oh,
so they're gonna
I'll be quiet, but I still think they lose. They suck.
Suns are winning this game, bro. You guys don't understand the Suns like I do.
340. That number should be 3,400 if you're going to bet the Suns to win a game.
I have fair price. Pick them. Modi, what do you have for this?
I would need plus 34,000, Modi, like an 8-leg parlay.
Yeah, I'm not touching this game.
Last game on the board. Rockets Clips. Modi, anything for this one?
It would be Zubac first quarter rebounds. He's like in the same thing as Sabonis and Nurkic. He just comes in and immediately grabs boards. Good matchup against the Rockets. They play with a lot of size, so you always get a center that's getting a lot of rebounds in the first quarter. Or in general against them, I should say. He's gone over in 10 of his last 12. He's gone over in 8 straight. Zubac in the first quarter. Guys healthy. It doesn't matter. It's plus over 3.5, and that's plus 120 at Bet365.
Over 3.5. And it's plus 120. 3.5 plus 120. All right. Another over. We're not just doing first quarter props now. We've really morphed on to just isolating the rebound market.
Well, no, it's points and rebounds. I just haven't gotten to the assists yet, but that's next.
We're on the last game.
I mean, next market.
Oh, next market. Yeah, he'll tackle the first quarter assists. An extremely lucrative market.
Correct.
Chris, anything for this one?
This was a cool game, Kyle. I started handicapping this yesterday after we finished the show, and I thought it was going to be set up to be a really good matchup, and then the injury report came out, and that kind of wiped all the fun away. And now it's being updated even more. It makes it even more difficult to handicap because what did I see? Norman Powell questionable, Ben Simmons is out, which we kind of knew, and Kawhi is going to play. So I think that's why the number moved, because last night it was at 5. When I woke up this morning, it was 7.5. But the Rockets have Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., and Fred VanVleet all on the injury report. They already locked in into the second seed. I didn't think that they were going to really take their foot off the gas, though. I mean, they just went to last Sunday, not this Sunday that just passed, but Sunday before that, they went into Houston and beat them by 40. And then, I'm sorry, they went into Phoenix and beat Phoenix by 40. Then they just beat the
Thunder.
The Thunder. Then they beat I mean, they didn't really need any of these games, so I didn't think they needed any of them. Then they beat Golden State as well. So I thought that they might want to come in here and beat this Clippers team as well. Clippers do need wins. They don't want to be like the Timberwolves and mess around and fall into the AC. So I don't know. I looked at the minutes last night. I know Kawhi comes back, but the argument that I would make is that even with Kawhi coming back, Harden played 38 minutes last night. Norman Powell played 41 minutes last night. Zubac played high 30 minutes last night. I don't like that as much, even though the Clippers are on the second even though the Clippers didn't have to travel at all. I know that they're a strong home team. I think the Rockets match up really, really well with them. The Rockets have been profitable on the road. I just don't know how much the Rockets going to really care about this one with all the guys on the injury report. So that would be my hesitation. It's one of the reasons why I didn't pull the trigger. I think you kind of got to wait to see who's going to play. But yeah, I think they can keep it within the number because I don't like what the Clippers shouldn't have struggled that much with the Spurs last night. They were 12.5-point favorites. They won the game by 5. Like you started supposed to be out. You should have did what the Memphis Grizzlies did to the Charlotte Hornets yesterday by going up 24-6 in the first quarter and then resting your starters in the second half, and they didn't. So I don't really like betting on teams on the second leg of back-to-back when they don't take care of business early.
I don't understand we're polling on the Rockets. You're saying the Rockets are still playing, but we're talking about a Clippers team that needs to win, a Clippers team that's been great at home against a Rockets team that might be sitting VanVleet, Jabari Smith, Şengün. In fact, yes, a couple of them are listed as questionable. Why would they play them? They have nothing. I don't understand why you don't just lay it here with the Clippers.
Udoka's that type of guy.
Yeah, they're going to play hard.
they can't. Okay, maybe they don't. Maybe they quote unquote play hard, but they might be missing two of their best players.
I agree. I definitely agree. And because you said that, Kyle, that's what moved the number from 5 up to 8. Because this was 5 last night.
Give me Houston +8.
Oh my God.
Ooh. First quarter +8.
Yeah, -400.
Why? Because they're going to play hard. Moto thinks they're going to play hard.
I feel like people overestimate when guys are ruled out because young guys come in and they're going to play hard. Like these guys are playing for rotation minutes next year.
It's not just about being out. The Clippers need this shit.
Well, yeah, they needed it last night and they barely beat the Spurs, like Chris just said. Needing it doesn't mean they're going to win by 9 and more. Didn't the Timberwolves need it and they just blew a 26-point lead to the Bucks? I mean, you're telling me that you're poo-pooing playing hard, but then you're going for they need it, so they're going to cover 9 points because they need it.
If they win by 5, they're gonna still be happy. Trust me. The Celtics won by 2 last night, and they were pleased walking off the court.
Are you lean towards the Rockets, Chris?
No, I just want to back Moda and be against you. That's all.
All right. So Matt, where can they find your stuff?
Yeah, Twitter at Jedi Modai. Also at that on YouTube as well. We're talking dongs. We're in dong season. Probably going to go back to not.
Did you want to give out a home run for tonight? I could play the song.
Yeah, go for it. Play the song.
Oh, hold on.
And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. And it makes you feel down. Down.
Is that Prop Beaver?
It's I believe that's an AI generated image of somebody walking on the moon. I don't believe there's actual footage of somebody walking on the moon. All right, Modai, what is your home run pick?
I'll give you 2. I'll give you Rafael Devers +460 FanDuel. Going up against Kevin Gausman. He hit Kevin Gausman yard last year in that same matchup, also hit a double off of him. Both those balls traveled 414 feet or more. Devers, after a terrible start to the year, has been red hot. And then I also took Jackson Chirio, who had 3 in the Rockies-Brewers game last night, had the 3 hardest hit balls of the entire game. One of them traveled 414 feet, was a triple. Unfortunately, was hit directly into dead center field, so it did not go out of the park. But 414 field, I'm good with that. Or 14 feet, excuse me. Going up against Senzatella, Rockies pitcher, loves throwing dongs. That's +500.
The Tella can play. He knows how to pitch himself. I mean, he might give up a home run or 2, but he knows how to pitch himself out of a jam, the Tella.
Yeah, but he loves getting hit hard and giving up home runs.
He loves throwing dongs, he said.
He loves them. He's a dong ball guy.
All right, everyone, enjoy your day. Make sure, Chris, where can they find your stuff?
Yeah, at Crispy Cap at 2 P's 2 N's on YouTube. Wake that ass up, 7:30 a.m. Trying to find some value. Appreciate you, Kyle. Best of luck, Modai, on the dongs.
If you are in the betting league, you have 1 hour and 21 minutes to submit. Obviously, you can't pick a game that already started, so make sure you go submit for the league if you haven't already done so. All right, bet responsibly.